Welcome everyone to episode 6 from your ISO 20000 awareness training program. Let's continue our journey together to explore and discover how to obtain ISO 20000 certification for your organization. Today we will discuss further steps towards this certification. Let's start our today's episode. As a summary, we already completed the introduction to ISO 20000, and we recognize the structure and requirements of having ISO 20000 certification inside your organization. Then we demonstrated the IT service management system. What is the key IT service management processes, such as incident and problem management, change management, release management, and other processes? We demonstrated through the last episode what is the steps necessary to implement ISO 20000. Now, in this episode, we will discover together how we will obtain the certificate through a process that we will all follow to obtain the certification. This process is starting from preparation and gap analysis, and within this step, we will perform an assessment for the current state for our IT service management processes against ISO 20000 certification. And the output of this step will be the gaps identified between the current state and the future state that we need to achieve in ISO 20000 certification, then create an improvement plan. Then we will proceed to step 2 by establishing the service management system, and this will include the definition of IT service management policies, procedures, roles, and responsibilities. And its output will be a structured and documented IT service management framework. In step 3, we will implement the IT service management processes such as incident, problem management, change management, SLA monitoring. So the deployment of IT service management will allow us to have an IT services to be managed according to the 20000 certification or 20. Fourth step, we will perform the internal audit and management review. In this step, we will conduct internal assessment and identify non-conformities if exist to ensure that we are already implemented all requirements related to ISO 20000, so we ensure the readiness of our organization to the external audit. Step 5 is the corrective actions and continuous improvement plans. So we will address in this step all the findings came from the internal audit and how we will optimize the IT service management processes related to our organization. And the result is reduced risks of non-compliance. We already have a risk that when we performing external audits, we may find ourselves our organization is non-compliant for ISO 20000 requirements. So creating a corrective action plan, continuous improvement plan will help us to reduce this risk. And the sixth step, the external certification audit. So we will engage in this step a certified certification body for formal assessment, then achieve our ISO 20000 certification. In the step 7, and because that the ISO 20000 is not a project, it's a journey. We just started our journey, but the journey has no end. So we have ongoing compliance and recertification. In this step, we will maintain our compliance against ISO 20000 standards through a continual improvement and periodic audits, and this will allow us to have a sustainable certification and service excellence. In the internal audit, we will evaluate the organization IT service management practices and our compliance against the service management system before we having before launching the external certification audit, and this will help us to identify the gaps and non-conformities. This will help our organization to assess the process effectiveness of IT service management and validate the policy and SLA adherence. SLA stands for service level. So what is the management review? Management review is a high-level evaluation where we get the top management commitment to support the ISO 20000 certification inside our organization and ensure that the IT service management performance assessed by the top management and gain strategic decisions for improvement came from the top management. This is how we will guarantee the top management support. The key management review focus areas, we will have IT service management process effectiveness. We will focus on customer feedback by collecting their feedback through periodic surveys and measure their satisfaction levels. In the audit results, we will gain comments, notes, opportunities for improvements, non-conformities. All of these points will be addressed through a corrective actions plan, resource allocation and staff training needs, and then we will focus on the strategic IT service management improvements. The purpose of management review is to help the organization in identifying issues proactively and do not wait until your external audit come and recognize some non-conformities. So you will demonstrate the commitment of continual improvement. The preparation of external certification audits starts from ensuring that your documentation is completed and updated. So your documentation will contain the ITSM policies, procedures, SLAs, compliance record. All of them must be organized and accessible through an ITSM system or portal, organization portal, and every one of your team can access this portal and can easily access these policies and the procedures, refer back to them, updating them continuously. So the documented policies and the procedures simulates what is really happening on the ground. So your policies and procedures is the mirror of your daily operations or operational processes and tasks. The next step is to demonstrate the effectiveness of IT service management implementation, and this will be demonstrated through your service processes such as incident management, change management, and they must be operational and traceable and provide your external auditors but by all evidence that demonstrate that your processes are live, operational, and you can trace the effectiveness of these processes through some KPIs, identified KPIs, agreed on KPIs with your customers and documented in your SLAs. The third step is to conduct pre-audit readiness check by simulating and auditing using your internal team, or hire a consultant to identify all gaps before going to the external audit. Please make sure that you already trained your employees on ISO 20000 requirements. This training is more than enough for your employees in your organization. This is a complete free training for all organizations need to implement ISO 20000. It is free training, so it will reduce your cost. Instead of hiring a consultant or a trainer to train your employees on the requirements, this training will provide them by all ISO 20000 requirements. By attending this online training, I think you already implemented an awareness training program for your employees. Already you have step, and it is for free. You already did it with no cost. This training will ensure that your staff understand their roles in IT service management and can answer auditor questions. Of course, you need to train your employees also on the portal contains all processes, documentations, and policies and procedures. Assign a certification audit team. You need to assemble an internal audit team that will make sure that they have all requirements implemented on the ground to obtain or achieve the ISO 20000 certification. The stages of external auditing will start with documentation review. So your auditor will review all IT service management policies and records to confirm that the ISO 20000 documents already exist. They will perform in the second stage on-site assessment, and the auditor will examine the IT service management processes in action and interview key personnel to ensure that the IT services are managed according to ISO 20000. In the third stage, the auditor will provide you by a report includes all findings and non-conformity if exist, to identify the areas of improvement. In the final stage, stage 4, you will have corrective action certification decision. So your organization will address all findings and issues before final approval, which will lead to obtain or achieve the ISO 20000 certification. The purpose of this stage is to ensure that you successfully pass the external audit with minimal non-conformities that will lead to have ISO 20000 certification. There will be common challenges that all organizations may have during their audit, and we will explain how to address these challenges. The first challenge, the lack of management support. We already discussed this issue. We need to have our leadership and top management engaged from the early stage to have their support to have ISO 20000 certification, and they will be engaged if you convince them by the benefits and the ROI of having your organization certified with ISO. So this certification will be on the top of their agenda and strategic priority. The second challenge is if you have inadequate IT service management documentation, this will happen if your policies or IT service, your related IT service management policies and procedures are missing or unclear. You will need to overcome this challenge to develop clear documentation and keep it updated. Also, you will have poor employee awareness training. This training will help you to have your staff engaged and can run this training infinite, get them fully aware by ISO 20000 training. Service processes not followed consistently. This because the lack of enforcement or IT governance. You will need to establish an accountability through regular audits and monitoring for the ISO 20000 processes. The challenge of measuring the performance of your IT service management, this happened because you didn't identify clear KPIs to monitor your IT service management system. So you will need to implement KPIs or key performance indicators, then perform regular reviews through regular reporting. The last challenge is to the resistance to a change, and this is very normal in each and every organization because your employees are hesitated to adopt new processes. So you will need to communicate the benefits of having ISO 20000 certification inside the organization. You will need to engage your employees in decision making and offer a training and development for your employees. So as a summary, the ISO 20000 certification process start from gap analysis. The objective of this step is to identify the gaps in IT service management process. Clear roadmap for improvement will be the result of this step. The next step is to perform internal audits and management reviews to assess the readiness before the external audit. Then the final output of this step is to identify and fix non-conformities, prepare the external audit, the organization documentation, and the train staff will be the objective of this stage to ensure small certification audit. The fourth step is the external certification audit to pass the formal assessment and obtain ISO 20000 certification, then continual compliance and recertification through periodic audit and periodic assessment, continual improvement to maintain the IT service management effectiveness. So ongoing improvement, this will guarantee you sustainable certification and service excellence. I would like to thank you for your, and I hope that we clarified the roadmap towards the certification of ISO 20000. Let's continue, and I hope to see you in the next episode from this training program. Thank you very much again for your time, and I hope that you enjoyed our today's training. Goodbye.